want to get to Vicky. But let me back up just a minute and tell you who I am. Yeah. So you hear the name Sparkle. What's Sparkle? What's going on with this Sparkle? Well, Sparkle is my ride name. My name is Marcia Moore. The reason why I chose a nickname is because when I first started out, people were like, there's something about you. You know, you're always, hi, how you doing? What's going on? You got the smile. So I was like, that'd be good. Name to consider. But you can't be, we do have a lady named Smiles, but that one was already taken. So I came back with looking at what fits my personality. And my background is I volunteered, I was very strong volunteer with the Order of the Eastern Star. I have seen his star in the light. I have seen his star in the east. I have a Yamaha V-Star. My ride name, my personalized plate is Star Queen. See where I'm going with this? So, with the smile and all those things came Sparkle. It fit my personality. So when people ask about ride names, I say, pick something that represents your awesomeness. Something you aspire to be or something that you're really good at. You can use it, for me, I also use it for security. I don't want to give my government name out if I'm at a gas station or a biker event. Just call me Sparkle, don't look me up on Facebook, you know, just how you doing? So anyway, those are a couple of reasons I give people to even have a ride nickname.
You can't pick your own.
And you have to pick it for the long haul, not for that incident or that situation, because
A question?
yes.
The chapter is lucky enough to have you as a
Oh,
member.
come on, I gotta do the drum roll.
There's a story.
Right, I got my hair covering it and everything, so a big reveal. So I've been a member of Women in the Wind since 2010. Yay, I'm celebrating my 2 years. When I was a newbie, I realized the only way you can become a good rider is if you're riding with other people. So, luckily, I tried a motorcycle club. Wasn't good, me being mommy. Mommy duties, had to be home by a certain time, couldn't be out past a certain time. So motorcycle clubs did not work for me. Then a co-ed riding group, show up at IHOP, kickstands up at Dark 30, ride your own ride, and we'll see you when we see you. And it was like, yeah, that's not gonna work for me either. And believe it or not, I went to a Women in the Wind event with Diamond Roses chapter, and their event was eating lunch at someone's house watching a safety video, talking about gear, group riding. I was like, oh, well, that's different. So it was a fit. Cheryl Wilkinson and Rose Martini embraced me as far as, we'll come to your house, we'll pick you up, we'll get you from point A to point B, then we will ride you to ice cream. We'll ride you to the post office to get your challenge signed. We'll do all of these things, and I wanted to follow suit. So I mentor, or I try to mentor, or I offer that to new riders, to new members, and I encourage you to do the same. I mean, everybody has their own thing, don't get me wrong, but you can't go from newbie to road warrior status unless someone shows you how to do it or answers your questions. So with that, I was also president of Diamond Roses chapter. That's probably what you connect me with. We did the 2013 Summer International in Washington, D.C. And then I retired in 2018, and we have 2 spin-off chapters. One is the Women in the Wind Honey Badger. So being president and road captain for 5 years was hard. But I love serving the chapter and I love serving the membership. But I wanted to retire and actually relax. So I joined my friend's chapter, the Women in the Wind, Honey Badgers chapter. Honey Badgers! And my president, Lisa, is doing a bang-up job. So, which brings me over to Vicky. But Vicky started her chapter out of Diamond Roses, and I'll let you say your name and introduce yourself, and then talk about whatever. You wanted to mention something else about a charity?
So I'm Vicky from Chesapeake Divas out of Maryland. I joined Diamond Roses in 2009. with women because I always rode with the guys. And at the time, I was traveling 40 to 50 miles just to meet them and then ride 100 miles and then ride back by myself. So when my kids got older, I decided to start a chapter in Southern Maryland. We currently have 15 members.
Wow.
And with the help of Sparkle, she gave me the confidence to actually do that. What I also wanted to mention for Peaches is in Arlington, the Knights of Columbus, they serve dinner to the honor flight before they get on the plane to go back home. So I volunteered there serving food to the veterans as they come in and out of tour buses before they go back. It's a very rewarding experience. All they want is somebody to listen to them and to talk to them.
Patriot Guard too? Or you do Patriot Guard as well?
I have ridden with Patriot Guard. Patriot Guard actually helped us with the 2013 International, what we hosted in DC. And every time I see them, they ask, when are you doing it again? Because they had so much fun, because they did the tours to Mount Vernon.
Yes. Another thing that makes me passionate is I come from 4 generations of Navy. We're 4 generations Navy. My son just joined the Navy. My husband is retired Navy. So I've got a soft spot to feature military families as a spouse, right? And women veterans, which I told you about earlier. But everyone I know has something. So an idea for getting all your members active, which someone asked, how do you get all your members active? I've got like 12, but only 3 show up. Ask them what their passion is. Where do they want to go? They want to go to a restaurant? Do they want to go to Arizona? Do they want to do this? Do they want to do that? And planning, because everyone's opinion is important. Everyone's contribution is important. And at the end of the day, we want to feel appreciated. So if I come to you and say, hey, you want to go to Key, or what would you like to do? If someone says Key West, and I go like, oh, that's nice, that's not going to be a real motivator. But if I say, oh, well, pick a month, a date, you know, let's budget it, let's ask some other people, trust me.
Let's go to Niagara Falls.
You're going to Niagara Falls. You're going to lift up their spirit. You're going to have them believe more in Women in the Wind, and you're going to let them know that there are resources out there that there's nothing we can't do. Yes, ma'am.
Now that you mentioned it, I'd like to talk to you about the Patriot Guard Riders. I was in the Air Force for 25 years. I'm from the Bad Girls. I live in Sarasota. We have a cemetery down there, National Cemetery, and I ride with the Patriot Guard Riders. And I got to tell you, it's probably one of the most fulfilling things that I do because, you know, they're still your brothers and sisters from everywhere, you know. And in our world, a war is a war, but it's about the person standing next to you, you know. And so what we do is we go to the cemetery. We stand for people who don't have any other family members. They're getting old. They're the last one in their family. So we stand as their family. And I would encourage all of you, if you are close to a cemetery, a national cemetery, it doesn't cost anything to join. You just get on the mailing list and they tell you when to be there. And it is a very, very fulfilling thing to do. It really is. And anyone can try it.
So covering another aspect of the who, what, when, where, how, and why, it's how do we get started, or why, I'm sorry, forgot the why. Again, I want to emphasize that the officers here are busting their tails and meeting often, and they're trying to find different ways to engage the membership. So we came up with the idea to feature you all. So you probably, if you're not on social media, trust me, we're working on ways to get it out to people who are not on social media. So whether that's you subscribe to an email that I send you, articles, but we want to do more. So recently you might have seen legacy members. We don't hear about legacy members until they're actually inducted. So I took the time to post about each and every single one, where they got, their ride story. And the next one was, oh, Lisa, where you at? Lisa Ty.
Oh, you say, not me again.
That's
what Lisa
Can you introduce yourself and tell what we talked about? Introduce yourself, your chapter. And what you do.
I'm from the Susquehanna Valley chapter, and I've been a truck driver for 27 years. And when from this COVID came along, and all the stores were starting to shut down, and everything was closed, I was out there delivering food, toilet paper, Lysol, Clorox, whatever. So Sparkle contacted me and said, "What? I don't have a horn. I could probably download an app that has that horn." But Sparkle contacted me, wanted to know what I was doing out there, and it was a little bit of a challenge to try to stay safe, but I got it done, and I got it done with my 15-year-old stepson in the truck with me. He comes out, he likes to help, so I was homeschooling him and running the highways at the same time, and it was nice.
Yeah, thank you for what you do.
Some of the features were on professions. So thank you all teachers, thank you all healthcare. Ties was thank you truckers. So another one was,
First responders.
look. Kim Hood, would you mind letting us know your name, introducing yourself, what you do, and how that feature was able to get the word out about how important your job is to all of us?
Thank you. I'm Kim Hood, I'm in the Toledo chapter, I've been in about 5 years. I'm a professional firefighter, paramedic, and I'm also an RN. So, I've been writing for a very long time, but I ride with Women in the Wind, and it was interesting that you mentioned the motorcycle club thing. I also ride with another true motorcycle club. I'm the only female axman. So, axman are professional firefighters.
Cool, yeah.
We are nationally based now. We have from Washington State to New York State and down to Myrtle Beach. I think is our part of the South right now in Houston. And it was one of those things that I got in very early on, and there's some ramifications with women in motorcycle clubs and the fact that we have a special patch system on our back and things like that, and there's some nuances with that, but it's definitely dark 30 when you're getting up and moving, and this is refreshing. Riding with women is refreshing. We show up and Anna brings snacks. Somebody else brought Q-tips. And it's one of those things, anybody have, and just put anything on the list and somebody's got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And guys, they're kind of like, they show up and you're like, oh man, I forgot my wallet. So this is very, very refreshing. So being a first responder, actually last night there was some conversation about being safe in environments like this. And it sounds like there was a medical concern a couple nights ago. And one of the things that Sparkle and I were kind of talking about is it might be a good idea, especially with events like this, that if you've got somebody in your chapter who is the person that you rely on, you may want to share that information with the group so that they've got a list of people so that if somebody does have a medical emergency, they can say 2, 3, or 4 phone numbers. Let's call somebody to see if they can come down. Or the other thing is I think Carol Pritt had that air horn thing. Maybe we could come up with some type of an SOS type of thing where if somebody's sitting in the banquet and there's a problem inside and they're like, we need some help, you stand outside that door and go like an SOS pattern, all of a sudden, what do you need? How many nurses do we have in here?
Yay!
So it's not, I may be the person who shows up from the 911 call, but we have a huge amount of medical knowledge just in this room. And we may have people, maybe somebody's not even in our group that's having a mental problem. We were talking about the suicide prevention. That's
very dear to my heart. Sorry.
We're all gonna cry.
Have a Cheeto, you don't have to use your hands.
We gotta talk about balls. Talk about balls all weekend. But it's just one of those things, there could be people here that have that background in regards to social work and suicide prevention and that type of thing. So it might not even be somebody from our chapter, but we see somebody that's sitting there and we can help.
Yes.
So,
Which leads into, I get all for the healthcare providers to stand up. What are they called? Healthcare providers, healthcare workers, healthcare workers. Anything else, anyone else? Thank you for your service. Do you want to introduce yourself? If you don't want to, that's fine. But we'd love to let everybody know what your name is or what you do. And if not, that's cool. Piggybacking off Kim, it'd be great. Piggybacking, I don't know how to word this because I'm off the cuff here. You might want to have someone have an activity where you learn CPR.
yes.
Someone's able to give
that, you still don't want me working on it.
Oh!
We did it, the horses did it.
Right.
Oh my God.
Horses did it.
I think,
course the
we're
horses
gonna call
did it.
on you
Of course the
again,
horses
because
did
there
it.
was a class or a video that we looked at as far as being the first on the scene of an accident. Or does somebody else know about it?
Accident scene management.
Accident scene.
Actually, I think the road guard.
Oh, please. Introduce yourself.
My name's Priscilla Welch, I'm from in Arizona, but last year at our banquet, I'm going like this. You know, everybody's just talking, and it took somebody else to come and recognize I was choking, and they came up and did their thing, because I'm so short. It took a while. But yes, she's not here tonight, but I could, never stop thanking her and recognizing the signs that I was in school.
So going down the list, want to emphasize again, we are Women in the Wind. We make up over 1,500 awesome women riders, right? And this is where you start. Don't get me wrong, we all have our friends that don't ride or friends that in the community, but when it comes to your fueling your passion about riding, you got it right here. And so I also wanted to, I didn't know how to do this one, but I wanted to challenge everyone to meet at least 5 people, or, my dream is for you to meet every single person in here, at least to say hello. So when you see them again, you're like, oh yeah, we remember Canton. Carol Pritt took care of us, I remember. But I challenge you all to at least say hello, or introduce yourself, or as a chapter, introduce yourself to another chapter. So the next step up is membership. There are 2 types of members. There's a regular membership and an associate membership. Jet, would you mind giving us a definition of what that is, please?
All right, hey everybody.
Hey.
I think almost everybody here should know me, so, and if not, and you're that new, I'm Jet. I processed your application at some point, if you're new. So membership, so yeah, we have chapter members, we have associate members. Chapter members is everybody sitting in this room. There, do we have any associates here with us today? Not today, all right.
Not today.
So an associate member does not belong to the chapter. The associate member is a different level of membership under Women in the Wind. So Women in the Wind has 2 memberships: chapter, which you guys belong to a chapter, and associate, who are kind of like wanderers, or they're interested in Women in Wind, or they might want to start learning how to ride, and they want to get to know us. That's what an associate member is. The associate does not belong to the chapter. There's a lot of confusion about that, so we wanted to make sure.
No backpacks on associates.
That's, yes, and so wanted to make sure that we got the clarification there. So associate members do not vote at general meetings, and they don't wear the back patch. They can wear merchandise, shirts, things like that. We certainly want to welcome and invite them to the international events, and if you happen to meet an associate member, embrace them and get them out riding and joining a chapter, because really that's our ultimate goal.
And
So I hand.
You answered my question.
Just wanted, yeah, and I just wanted to clarify, like, if a member just wants to become an associate member, are they allowed to do that, or do they have to fall in that kind of new, kind of interested, like?
Anybody can be an associate member. You could be a well-seasoned writer, and if you want to be an associate of Women in the Wind, yeah, anybody can do that. And there's even some members that transfer to associate temporarily, maybe they're in the middle of moving or whatever, and then when they settle and find a chapter, they transfer back over to being a full member.
If they are involved in your chapter, they can't be associate members, they have to be.
They have to upgrade. Yes. So what Becky just said was, like, let's say an associate starts hanging out with Low Country Ladies. And then they're going to your chapter meetings, or going on the rides. Well, guess what? They are now going to upgrade their membership to a full chapter member, because they're not really being an associate anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
can I say something?
Yes.
If I can talk, you've seen my daughter, this is her second international. We patched her as a prospect because she was under 18. We still have her as a prospect. She will be becoming associate or non-riding.
Right.
We also have Carol, she's non-riding. I believe it's 1 for 5, and they're
Yeah.
allowed 2. So if there's a question on that patch, that's the way we did it, because we weren't exactly sure.
yeah.
So, welcome them non-riders today.
So that was a great example, Carol, of that we don't have associates. We don't want to use the word associate when somebody who is learning about your chapter, unless they've joined Women in the Wind that way, you know. So they want to make, I know it's confusing to you, I can tell, because some chapters are very creative, and those are the ones I'm speaking to, and some chapters do it right on the spot. So before we get too carried away on that.
Yeah, wait,
questions?
yeah, we're
Are there
we're having
questions?
fun, yeah.
Yeah,
She'll cover that later.
Yep. And then write down your questions for me too, and just drop them down,
Yeah.
On the table.
Did you have a
and
question
I'll
about
come back.
associate?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are associate dues per year? That's a question.
$15. Associate dues are $15 per year. Full members are $20 per year.
And all that stuff is on the website.
And all that stuff is on the website, and it's in my Shooting the Breeze articles.
She does a fabulous job. Jeff does an absolutely wonderful job of describing and putting everything out there, and it's succinct, it's clear. Look up her articles in the STB. She really does a great job with so that you can easily understand the different membership categories. She does a real good job with that.
And we've been struggling with that for 30 years.
So I'm sorry, I've gotta wrap it up, just to give you a break. But, I wanted to cover dual membership, which Jed will probably talk about again. You can be a primary with Honey Badgers, but I can join the Soul Sisters and ride with them and help them at their, special event, but again, and legacy members. If you're not sure what a legacy member is, we will cover that again, but, we did a feature on each one. They're on the website. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen will talk about the website. Everything you need to know about Women in the Wind, our history, our last 40 years, is on the website, and Jen will take care of that when she talks a little later. But remember, this session was just about, hey, how's it going? Meet 5 people.